One of the SNL cast members just called out Elon Musk for making her cry 3 years ago. This is a 36-year-old grown-ass woman who took the opportunity to call out Elon Musk on TikTok because he was a big meanie head to her.
This is the problem of women in the workforce, Mary.
Her name is Chloe Fineman, and from what I've seen, her work isn't terrible, but SNL is terrible these days. So this says, Chloe Fineman has put Elon Musk on blast, saying he made her burst into tears back when he hosted the show in May 2021. And now, in November 2024, this is the moment for her to bring it back up and call him out.
Gentlemen,
she was holding on to that for that long.
Guys, this is what, remember the other day I kind of made like a half sarcastic joke. I said you should never cry in front of your girlfriend or your wife. Just don't do it. You know, unless a family member dies, right? Don't do it. Which I was half kidding, you know, do what you will. But this is why you don't give in, because they don't let go of shit. They're going to hold on to everything. Every mistake you've ever made, they file that shit away in the memory bank to use on you at the worst possible moment. So, you know?
She's acting like Elon Musk is her ex-boyfriend.
Yep. Well, what does Phil always say?
And she's like, and I just think it's funny how, or like, well, remember that one time when you, like, she's just bringing up some like minuscule interaction that they had that he doesn't remember at all. 3 years later, and she's acting like this should be embarrassing for Elon and not her.
Yeah.
I think we have several other 20s. Is this one Brian Bledsoe?
Yes. Jose Quintana.
Or is it before that? Oh, Jose Quintana said, Brett, some of us believe that Mary should be placed back on the right side of the split screen. We request a live poll, a referendum for the subscribers to voice our opinion. Mary to the right, Mary to the right.
Unfortunately, this is not a democracy.
Was I on the right before? I just never even paid attention.
I don't believe so because I didn't change anything on the screen there. So,
yeah.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
This is not a democracy. Brian Bledsoe said some of my family follows my overtly political social media. At a recent family gathering, one of my cousins quietly asked how I felt about the election, and I said, I feel great. He said, agreed, we're the 20%.
There you go.
Well, that's nice that you found some camaraderie there.
Look, I wonder if this is like, do the older men in Hollywood like dream of the days of yore when they could just go to work, be mean to each other, and then like file that shit away until the next day and then come back to work? But it's not even like that anymore with the men anymore. The men are just as feminine as the guys in Hollywood. They take offense to everything and they hold on to it, and then they write their memoir that sells less than the females' memoirs 20 years later about all the producers that were mean to them.
Well, usually when you hear stories getting dredged up like this, it's a woman who is bringing it up.
Because everyone knows
usually it's because a man is at fault.
Guys will not care. Like, nobody's going to care if a guy's been mean, somebody's been mean to a guy.
Like, be a man.
Yeah.
Thank you. But also, Chloe Fineman is 36 years old. I'm going to tell her, be a woman. Don't be a little ass girl. Grow up.
Grow up. Grow up, lady.
You're 36 years old and you're
Should
acting
we watch
like
this video
on TikTok. By the way, I just want to mention, she posted this TikTok on Monday and deleted it like 3 hours later.
Why?
So she just immediately regretted her decision because she realized it made her look like an idiot.
Well, I mean, that's not immediately. That's like 3 hours later.
But she held on to this story for 3 years, posted it on TikTok, and then deleted it 3 hours later.
Here we go.
Okay, I just saw some news article about Elon Musk being like butthurt about SNL and his impression.
There's only one butthurt person, and it's you.
It looks like somebody tried to draw like Katy Perry, but funny.
Clearly watching the show. Like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to come out and say, at long last, that I'm the cast member that he made cry. And he's the host that made someone cry. Maybe there's others, but I saw some articles and stuff, and I was like, I'm not going to say anything. But I'm like, no, if you're going to, like, go on your platform and be rude, like, guess what? You made Chloe Fineman, burst into tears because I stayed up all night writing this sketch. I was so excited. I came in, I asked if you had any questions. And
I don't even know if I buy that, given he was already political in 2021, that they were even that nice to him.
Yeah, I doubt it.
stared at me like you were firing me from Tesla and were like, it's not funny. I waited for you to be like, haha, JK. No. And you started pawing through my script, like flipping each page, being like, I didn't laugh once, not one time. Cut to, the sketch made it on, and it was like fine, and I actually had a really good time, and I thought you were really funny in it, but...
The success of a sketch is not based on whether you had a good time or not. It's on whether people laughed or not.
Well, on SNL, they're paid to laugh.
Have a little manners here. Sir.
Sir. Have some manners and pretend to laugh at my stupid jokes.
Yeah. I mean, that's like...
You know, if you don't laugh at SNL skits, you're actually very rude.
That actually makes no sense, too, because in their industry, theoretically, laughs are currency, because if the show's not funny, theoretically, it should go off the air. Now, we know that that's not true for Saturday Night Live, but it should actually be seen as a detriment if you can't make them laugh. They're like, how are we going to make our money if nobody laughs at our jokes?
Everyone knows that there are cue cards for the audience. They're paid to laugh, so it doesn't even matter. They're going to think that it's a hit regardless. And I don't even say this to be mean, but I think everyone is aware at this point, Elon Musk is, what do you call it? Neurodivergent.
Yeah.
That's the PC term for it now. He's a little bit on the spectrum of autism.
Yeah.
And characteristically, he doesn't really know how to let someone down easy.
Yeah.
So he just told her what he thinks point blank in the moment without trying to sugarcoat it. And he was like, I'm sorry. I don't think your jokes are funny. He didn't apologize. He was like, I don't think your jokes are funny. I didn't laugh. And if you're a comedian, take the constructive criticism. He's not the comedian, you are.
It's the same way that writers are nowadays, where they can't take criticism of their work, even though it's been a long-held belief that if you want to work in the publishing industry, you have to have thick skin. Mm-hmm. And nowadays, they just wilt at any criticism of their work ever.
Well, comedians are low-key, like, narcissists who need validation from people, but usually they use that to fuel, becoming better at their craft.
I remember that's what Andrew Schultz made that comment once, where he talked about, he's like, I want attention, so I make some jokes, you give me attention.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it trains you to make better jokes over time, so you get that validation over and over again. It's that.
Yeah, but the thing is that's kind of the difference between somebody who's salary and somebody who's paid on commission. If Andrew Schultz or whatever comedian you like the most only makes their money by filling the seats in an auditorium that they headline, well, then they are incentivized to make better jokes. But if you are working for Saturday Night Live and it's basically a jobs program, like the TSA is, then you're not really incentivized to have funny jokes because nobody cares. They're going to make the joke anyways.
Well, the whole reason why Chloe Fineman posted that TikTok in the first place is Elon Musk's post from a few days ago right here saying, SNL has been dying slowly for years as they become increasingly out of touch with reality. Their last-ditch effort to cheat the equal airtime requirements and prop up Kamala before the election only helped sink her campaign further.
Yeah.
Let that sink in. And that's what prompted her to make that clap back at him. Now, he's responded very nicely, very politely.
What'd he
said,
say?
Frankly, it was only on the Thursday before that Saturday any of the sketches generated laughs, and I was worried. I was like, damn, my SNL appearance is going to be so effing unfunny that it will make a crackhead sober. But then it worked out in the end. And it worked out because he told her what he really thought of her jokes, that they weren't funny, and they fixed it.
Actually talented artists will take it's kind of the same critique that people have a lot with comic book writers these days, which is like, who's editing these people? It's like they just turn in the first draft and there isn't anybody there to say, this doesn't make any sense, this doesn't work. Like, you need a harsh editor who's willing to tell you when something isn't going to work if you want to up your game, if you want your work to be better.
Well, you know, the problem with SNL now, beyond any of the political messaging or biases that they have, is that they're kind of using this show, which is still on cable television.
Network television.
Or sorry, network television. They're using it to clip basically to farm clips that get posted and go viral on the internet.
I mean, that's what they
which
do
is a
with-
totally different audience.
Yeah, it's
And
kind of
it's
like what
like-
all of the John Olivers and all of the Jon
Yeah.
Stewarts. That's what those shows are now. Nobody cares about the live viewership. All
Yeah.
they care about is clipping it for segments. Which, like you said, it's a completely different audience that watches clips than as opposed to those who watch live shows.
Yeah.
Kind of the same difference as like releasing music like singles versus releasing an album.
Mm-hmm.
But
So I'm sitting there watching an SNL skit on Twitter, and it's Bowen Yang making jokes about Chappell Roan, Moo Dang, and like Troye Sivan's Rush music video. And I'm getting all the references because I'm a chronically online Zoomer.
but none of the boomers watching have any clue what they're talking about.
None of the millennials, Gen Xers, or boomers who are watching any of this understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm just like wondering how they perpetuate their own existence at this point. It's crazy.
It's just funded.
It's just who's funding it? I don't understand. How does SNL make money?
Ads. I mean, it still runs ads.
From network television?
Yeah, from network television.
But who's watching it on network television? They're just turning this on and they're like,
boomers.
who's Troye
The
Sivan,
thing
honey?
is the boomers are watching it but not understanding the references and just saying, now I can reference this to my kids if they come by, even though I have no idea what I'm looking at here.
They're like talking about the Brat Summer on SNL. There's just no monoculture anymore, and it's such a high context thing. Like, there's such a high demand for context to understand anything that they're saying.
Do you see that they're now trying to like cancel Mudang because of voting because she chose Trump?
Yeah.
Right? And they like immediately there was like another was not
a replacement hippo.
a replacement hippo was like move over Mudang. Then they showed this other one because they're like, we can't have like a center right leaning hippo. Like,
No,
you
yeah.
can't. Like, what, you know what's worse than your Republican dad is your Republican hippo. So they had to find a new one.
Right.
It's very sad.
Mudang is getting canceled.
And again, me and you will get that reference. Grandpa Joe isn't gonna get that reference.
No.
Doesn't make any sense.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.